This is me. This is me. This is me. This is me.
Goat milk.
Goat milk smells good. Goat milk
Good.
smells good. Goat milk smells good. Good goat milk smells good. Good goat milk smells good.
This is gonna happen.
Good goat milk smells good on good days. Good goat milk smells good on good days. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Cheezehole.
Welcome.
So
Quite the lead in there.
well, 51 episodes.
Yeah, we're still doing it.
We're doing it. We're doing it.
I'm proud
doing
of
it
us.
monthly. Doing
not-
it weekly.
Doing it weekly.
There was a magazine that Andy invented called Doing It Monthly. Mm-hmm.
Really?
You? Yeah.
Which describes both the frequency of the magazine and how often you might do it.
Yep. But by doing it, wasn't it for elderly people, like just getting up and walking or something? What was the...
No, it
it was doing it?
It was it.
Oh, it was it.
Yeah.
I have a few things I want to say here, but I'm not going to.
Yeah, don't.
So,
Yeah.
Andy has a whole slew of fake magazines he invented, and
Yeah,
they're all funny.
They're parodies of magazines that we actually publish in this building, but just
Yeah.
a little different.
Yeah,
Yep.
I love all of them. You're so creative.
Oh.
Yep. Culver's was creative when they came out with the curd burger, but I know people are so probably tired of hearing about this,
No,
but
but-
the report came out.
Yep, we got
they
some-
sold like hotcakes. They sold like curd burgers.
Yeah, company says they sold 136,000 of the novelty burgers.
Okay, so now 136 divided by the number of locations.
That's what I was just gonna
800.
do. Oh, you already did that?
No, that's
Oh.
how many stores there are.
Oh, yeah.
136 divided by
6,000 divided by
800.
800 is 170.
So each location, if they were distributed equally, which I
Which-
guarantee
no.
you they weren't,
No.
got 170. So that means Rhinelander had, in my
12.
opinion, 18.
Yeah. Maybe 50,
Yeah.
75.
Well,
Yeah.
they said just
Yeah.
about
40 to 60.
Yeah.
they said just about everyone sold out before lunchtime.
Oh, so like get before noon.
Yep.
So was there any speak of bringing them back as a regular item?
I don't know. I think this could be something like how the McRib is for McDonald's. I think
they
it could-
bring
Yeah,
it out for a
probably.
month at a time.
They
Yeah.
better up that number for next year, though.
Yep.
Well, since we're on the curd topic, that voting happened on the contest we talked about last week is like best curd in Wisconsin.
Yep.
And
Well, Travel Wisconsin announced its Crown the Curd contest winner. Let's see. For the best single location, voters favored the Monroe Optimist deep fried cheese curds, which are only available during the Monroe Cheese Day Festival.
Oh, nice.
so that's like those curds that we talked about
Yeah.
at Iola,
Yep.
which makes sense to
Yep.
me.
Yep.
So, but that's kind of weird to me because to win the curd contest, in my opinion, you should have to serve them year round. There should have been a fourth category, like fair and
yeah.
festival curds.
I agree.
Fair and festival curds would have been a good category.
Yep.
Yep.
Fair and festival curds would be one time a year, and then you could enter as Iowa Car Show, this Monroe deal.
Yep.
Because I want to go try that curd and I can't.
Right.
And I have no idea how Ellsworth, the Ellsworth Creamery doesn't win. I mean, it's the cheese curd capital of, used to be the world. I don't know if they,
Well, it
but
still should
cheese
be.
curd
It
capital
should
of
be,
Wisconsin. They should be winning all the cheese curd awards.
Okay. Who else won, Andrew?
Well, the Great Dane was named the best cheese curd for 2 to 5 locations, and the best cheese curds for a restaurant with 6 or more locations. A Wisconsin favorite, Culver's.
Boo.
Yeah, I see. I was fine with the other two. I was not happy with that one.
Isn't there a Great Dane in Wasau now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's one in Madison, one in
Madison,
Wasau.
yep.
Well, I think Madison was the original one, right?
Yep.
There was a guy in Chippewa County who won the Golden Spatula. The Golden Spatula is not made of curd.
Oh,
It is, in fact, made of
Gold?
faux gold, probably.
Yeah.
But what is the Golden Spatula?
well, this was a nationwide cooking contest that was done by Blackstone Products. They make griddles and seasoning
Yes.
and things like
Yeah.
that. You
Those things
familiar?
are.
I actually have a Blackstone.
Do you? Those things are like the biggest, trendiest thing like in the last year or two. I feel like I've seen them pop up everywhere. How is it?
We use ours. We have one that goes in our camper.
Okay.
And it's like portable.
Yep.
And I didn't know what it was. It was probably bought it 3-4 years ago.
Okay.
And I don't know if it was a thing when I bought it,
Sure.
but I realized like, oh, I have one of those.
Yeah, I feel like they're blowing up lately because I'm seeing them on Facebook. Some of my friends are like, "Oh, I want a Blackstone." I'm getting. I didn't even know what it was.
They're
until,
just an
like,
outdoor griddle, right?
It's like a cast iron griddle, right?
Yeah, that's what
what I'm.
ours is.
Yeah, okay.
Well, his recipe for Wisconsin cheesesteak was selected to make the top 32 of the original 180 entries. And after that, people voted online, and he won.
That sounds
sounds
really
nice,
good,
yeah.
doesn't
Yep.
it?
Yeah, it does.
Instead of mozzarella cheese on it,
It's a
doesn't
cheese
it have
curd?
cheddar?
Yep.
No, actually, you could layer in cheese.
Have
Oh,
a cheese
gosh.
curd.
There's a picture of it there, and I would like to eat it.
Yeah.
I would eat anything that's just like
look.
covered in cheddar
I know,
cheese
and
sauce.
it's all melted perfectly in the picture.
And I love a good cheesesteak.
Oh, me too.
To take those from Philly over
Yep.
to Wisconsin, I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah, there's nothing bad in them.
No, gosh.
They're
the
just
peppers, onions, and a cheddar cheese. Yeah, actually, that should be a staple on every menu up here.
It really should be. Good bun. You gotta have a good bun.
The thing is you can't just go with that crappy Cisco liquid cheese. You gotta have a solid, good liquid
Yes.
cheese.
Yes.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah,
100%
So I don't know
agree.
if that means you make your own, or if somebody makes a more solid one than just like that American dump your nachos cheese.
Yep.
You know
No,
what I'm
it can't
talking
be
about?
that. It's got to be
No.
like a good, like you make a
Hearty
homemade cheese
cheddar
for like
flavor.
a mac and cheese. It's got to be
Yeah,
something
like
good
that.
like
Yep.
that.
Hearty
Absolutely.
cheddar flavor.
Yeah.
Agree.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I'm glad we're on the same page there.
Yep, we all agree. Wonderful.
Yeah. Well, what we usually do, don't we?
Most of the time.
Yeah.
Do we ever not agree down here?
Only when
Oh,
Eric's
yeah.
here.
So, have you guys watched the Squid Game?
No.
No.
I didn't know anything
have,
about
though.
it until this.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Until this story. Can you tell me?
Oh,
a little
really?
Oh,
Yeah.
it is insanely popular.
It's very
Why?
popular with the like 16 to 26-year-old crowd, I think is how you'd say it.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
so
this is the next big Netflix thing. I don't think they've had a big thing since Tiger King was at the.
I never
COVID.
watched that.
well,
yeah.
Tiger King was a documentary though.
But that was still the big. Like everybody had to watch.
Yeah, it was
Tiger
a
Yeah,
King.
trendy thing.
true.
And now this is Squid Game is the new deal.
It's a Korean show, and it's all in Korean, and then they dub over. So it's like watching a Bruce Lee movie.
Yeah.
So they dub over like they dub over English. I watched the whole thing. It's violent.
What's
but
the whole thing? Is it like
the
a
premise
season?
of the show is cool.
It's a show, okay.
It's a season, yeah. There's one season, and they kind of left it that there could be a second season.
So just in case anybody listening is in Tim's boat and doesn't know what it is, can you explain the premise of it?
The premise is they go after people who are down on their luck. Like they've got this group of people who like search. Let's say Andy was having financial trouble. They search him out, and then they encourage him to join this game where if he wins, he'll be taken care of for life. And they usually try to find people who are really down on their luck, that like have medical
Desperate.
conditions or lost.
Yep.
Yeah, just desperate. The
All or
most-
nothing, nothing
the
else to
most
live for.
Exactly.
Okay.
Nothing else to live for is the key.
Okay.
Then they bring in hundreds of these people to play this game, and they're physical games that you play, and so the whole, let's say there's 500 to start, and I think there's more than, I think there's a couple thousand people to start. The first game, as you lose, you're executed, literally executed.
Oh.
Real life Hunger Games for money?
Yeah, exactly. It has a very Hunger Game like thing to it for money.
Interesting.
And then without giving away too much of it, I mean, it gets personal for some people.
Sure,
and
sure.
I don't know. I mean,
Do you recommend?
I liked it. I give shows either a watch or don't watch, and I'd say watch it
Respect
because
that.
there's
I don't want any in between.
yeah, it's like it wasn't like must watch. I guess I say watch, don't watch, or must watch. I say watch.
Okay.
And there's some neat storylines to it. I don't like dubbed in.
I was gonna say I'm not partial to those usually.
I usually turn them right off.
Yeah.
And I will say I fast forwarded through a lot of this
Okay.
just because it got annoying to me. But I mean, I watched the majority of it. I watched the entire season, and I'd say watch.
Okay.
But now the show's gotten so popular that there's problems. That people are imitating the game or something. or
Well,
what's
I
the-
know that it's Halloween costumes is a big thing.
Okay.
And then obviously there's this story area authorities warn children of playing Squid Game.
Yeah, so this is literally as much as I knew about it coming into
Okay.
that conversation with Jeff is this article that an area school district in Crandon here is warning parents
that
and
was
students.
Crandon?
It's in Crandon.
Yeah, it's in
Oh,
Crandon.
I didn't
is
read it.
warning parents and students against playing Squid Games during recess. And this summarizes it as a popular Netflix series where people play a series of children's games, and there are deadly consequences for those who lose. So I'm assuming the children are reenacting this minus the deadly consequences?
Yeah, it says it's been brought to our attention that children have been playing Squid Game at recess on the playground, mimicking having weapons and eliminating each other with death.
Well, okay, so the games that they play in Squid Games are largely, they're based on Koreans' kid games. So like, let's say these are games that we've never played here.
Oh.
But let's say like they were, so it would be like hide and go seek, ring around the
Red Rover.
Yeah, well,
Red Rover.
Well, this specific post mentions tug of war, red light, green light.
they red light, green light, and tug of war both in the actual
Okay.
Squid
Simon
Games.
Says.
There's a version of Simon Says.
Okay,
Yep.
I'm getting it.
In fact, the show starts out with a version of Simon Says.
Heads off 7-Up. Heads up 7-Up.
Well, Heads Off 7-Up would be a good
That's
one.
why I said that, yeah.
But they didn't play that.
So we strongly advise that children not watch this series. Very graphic, a lot of violent content.
Okay, so this is interesting. So
Okay.
this is kids who still go outside for recess.
Yeah.
So these are kids probably in K6.
Yeah.
How the hell have they seen this show? And when I say it's violent, I am not a fan of violent. I don't have to have it. Like, I can visualize it in my head. I don't have to see it. This shows it. It's
yeah.
graphically violent.
I think I'm gonna not watch.
Well,
yeah, I don't love that either.
Is it just a coincidence? I mean, because red light, green light that's a common kids game. Is it just a coincidence that these kids are playing it at recess and the show's popular at the same time?
No, I don't think it's a coincidence.
If they're faking killing each other, it's because of the show.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
You didn't play red light, green light, and then off the dude that lost at recess. You just played it.
a hell of a lot more fun.
You weren't on my playground.
Yeah, that's true. You son of a...
Hardcore playground.
Yep.
I didn't realize this was in Crandon. I know this is becoming a thing nationwide, though. It's like versions of people playing this game. I don't know how they play this game without the execution element of it, unless it's
Well, they
just like
are.
No. I get it's like a faux execution, but
Marching them up to the top of the slide and pushing them down.
yeah.
So cut it out, kids. Watch.
Yep.
Get on PBS.
Speaking of kids, so part of the rite of passage when I don't think I've ever honestly done it, and I would say if I did, because I don't care, because I think
This is gonna be cool.
the what is it? The right to put someone in jail for something. What the hell's that called again? That period of time when you can't press charges. You know what I'm talking about. There's a word for that. Anyway,
I don't know.
You can't you couldn't prosecute me for smashing pumpkins.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. So I never smashed pumpkins, but I think that doesn't that happen every year?
Everywhere, every college campus, every town.
Egging,
Yes.
smashing pumpkins. You know, that's like, if you're not trick-or-treat, once you graduated past trick-or-treating, you got yourself in trouble with other stuff.
Yes.
And so I had to laugh when it made news.
It must have been a slow news week. I thought the same thing.
Pumpkin smashing spree in Marshfield. Well, no, it's Halloween. That's what people do.
We used to walk down the sidewalks in college, going to and from the bars, and there was not a single pumpkin that was intact down any town road. And we questioned every year why people keep buying them. They keep buying them and setting them out. I mean, it's just like a pumpkin massacre on every street every year. Don't you think you just get sick of it?
Well, it's like, yeah, I mean,
I'm not a fan of the smashing pumpkin thing because
No, me
I
neither.
feel like that's just such a low bar. For,
It is.
Like,
yeah, I agree.
it
That's
is.
what I said.
But if my pumpkin kept getting smashed, I'd stop buying them.
But it's nothing new, was my point.
right.
This pumpkin smashing has been going on since the 1800s.
Yes. Since pumpkins first grew and were discovered,
Yes.
they've been smashed.
Yes.
well, apparently there's also been connected incidents with not only vandalism of pumpkins but also smashing mailboxes.
Yeah, they're throwing
and-
pumpkins at mailboxes,
And
which is really...
In hindsight,
Oops, sorry,
I feel completely juvenile for having. I never did smash a pumpkin, but in hindsight, as an adult now, I'm like, yeah, why the hell would you?
Yeah.
Why would you just go grab somebody's property and smash it,
I don't
or egg their house, or toilet paper their trees,
Or smash their mailbox.
or smash their?
I had my mailbox hit with a bat a few weeks ago, and I'm still mad about it.
I would be pissed too.
It was
you did what?
It was a brand new mailbox. So we just moved into this house. We got a new mailbox, put in one of those oversized ones, a nice new pole, made it look really nice, and it was there for 2 months, and someone smashed it with a bat.
Really?
They went down Pine Lake Road and hit a whole bunch of mailboxes,
Yeah.
and I was so mad, and I still am.
Yeah,
I'd be really,
ticked too.
really ticks me off.
You know what? You know what would stop that from happening?
Concrete.
Nope. Well, that.
I've heard people doing that too.
let those little birds work longer hours.
Which Wisconsin is making legal.
Yep. So Wisconsin has a bill. Is it a law or a bill? I think it's a bill right now.
I think it's a bill.
Where it would allow, I think it's 14 and 15-year-olds to work until 11 p.m. So when I first read this...
Yeah, I have some questions on
When
this.
I first read this, I thought 11 p.m. sounds late. Okay, but then I thought to myself, my youngest stepson, Rowan, who's now 16, I'm thinking, I'll go back 2 years. He stays up till midnight playing his Xbox anyway.
Yeah.
Every night. Every night. What was your bedtime when you were a kid in, let's say, pre-driving age? Say between the ages of 12 and 16. Do you remember what time you went to bed?
I can't. I want to say around 10ish.
I would have guessed 10.
yeah,
Kinda
I can't remember, but kind of shoot.
I would say I went to bed no later than 10.
Yeah.
Now there's no bedtimes.
And I have a question on this. So
Okay.
is this 11 p.m. all year long, or is it only during the summer? Because right now laws change for
Yeah,
summer months.
I don't know, but I mean, does it matter?
Yeah, because some people's argument is that's too late and it's going to affect their schoolwork.
Well, that's my argument. Is that people are
Right.
letting their kids stay up later anyway.
but that would, if it was only during the summer for that, I would take that argument away
Right,
too.
right.
You know?
Electronic devices, I think, are what have ruined bedtimes.
Oh, it says right here.
100%.
The proposed bill would make it legal for kids to work from hours 6 a.m. to 9:30 on school nights and 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. on days where there's no school following.
Do
So there
you
you go.
think this would have any type of effect on, like, the need for labor? Do you think this changes anything? Like, I think it's just a lack of people wanting to work, not the fact that they have to leave early.
I think it could on a small scale. I mean,
you maybe
kids
pick up
stocking
a
shelves
couple
at a
kids
grocery
here and
store
there.
until 9:30 instead of
Or
someone
waiting
else
at a
doing it.
fast food
Maybe.
place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know either.
But Karen's here.
I'm for it.
Me
Karen.
too. Put him to work. Make him do something.
Dilly dilly. So I took us to Randolph, Wisconsin,
Okay.
Why?
right in the vicinity of where that massive pumpkin was growing last year.
Sure. I wonder if that got smashed.
Nobody could lift it. That's all the more reason to grow big pumpkins.
You'd have to elbow drop it or something. You have to do like WWE moves.
I don't think you could.
I don't know if you'd find the mailbox that one hit. God.
It would be awesome to build a launcher for that pumpkin.
Oh, man.
That's what they should
Oh,
do with
boy.
Could you imagine?
Something that
launching
could launch a
2,000-pound pumpkin?
one
That's
ton.
like a weapon of mass destruction.
Well, they have those launchers that like throw trucks and cars and stuff like on a sling.
Yeah.
You seen those?
Like a trebuchet.
So anyway,
we're in-
the Schaumburg Dinner Club. First of all, I like that it's called a dinner club, not a supper club.
Same.
Were they trying to bring them like? Because I got made fun of one time by a niece of mine because in Wisconsin we apparently say supper. I don't think I say supper. Maybe I do. I don't know.
I say both.
But she made fun of me. I probably do, given the context of the conversation. But the Schaumburg Dinner Club, 4.5 stars, 261 reviews. Karen, what happened when you went there?
Well, I go here often. Last time I went, I ordered my steak medium and my sister medium well. Both were well done. No pink at all. I should have just said shoe leather when they asked how I wanted it done. Sad, since we come here quite often. Owner kept hawk-eyeing out waitress, who was magnificent and apologetic about our steaks because you could visually see there was no pink at all on the steaks. They were actually a gray in color.
Dude,
Where
steak
do
was-
we start?
I don't know.
This
His
is a
steak-
good one.
Yeah, it is.
I want to dissect this. Does anyone want to? Do you have it? It looks you circled something. What were you?
I
Gonna,
just underlined hawk-eyeing. I really like the use of that word in that situation.
Karen asked me before this review what hawk-eyeing was.
Oh, it's just locking on someone. It's just kind
Is
of
he
giving them
locking on the waitress because he doesn't want any concessions made?
that locking on. It's the dirty eyeball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But why is he hawk-eyeing the waitress?
I don't know.
He's afraid she's going to give him like a percentage off of their steak.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
What I like is it says we go here often. Last time we went, I ordered my steak medium and my sister medium well. She had her sister cooked.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'd like my
Not-
sister medium
and
well.
not to her liking.
So my opinion is if you want your steak closer to the rare side, you don't order medium or medium well.
Right.
Wouldn't you agree with that?
Yes.
You-
Absolutely.
If you like
you
it more
should
to the
order
rare
medium
side,
rare.
Medium rare.
If you want it on the rare side, you stick in the word rare somewhere.
Yes,
if the word
yes.
rare isn't in it, it has the permission to not be pink in the middle.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
yes.
I agree.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, medium well is great. That's
Oh, yeah,
that's almost
Exactly.
well done.
Medium
That
well
the
is a great
definition.
steak. That's
Yes.
exactly.
That
I
is-
agree
yes.
100%.
Yes.
I just thought this was funny, hawk-eyeing, and then she goes several times. She points out there's no pink.
Yeah, right.
The pink is
It's
gone.
actually gray.
It's gray.
It's gray.
No pink. How do you guys order your steaks?
Medium rare, pretty much every time.
Medium.
I'm a medium too.
Really?
And if it goes to medium well, I don't care. And if it goes to medium rare, I actually,
I care. Yeah, I care a little bit.
yeah, I do.
Seriously,
I prefer it be more to medium well than
No,
than
I'm a
medium
rare to medium rare. I'd rather have it on the side of rare.
Not me. So I always order my steak medium, and I don't complain when it comes out, no matter how it comes out. Although I have a harder time choking it down if it's toward the rare side.
Really?
Yep.
Surprising me.
But you brought up a good thing that dinner versus supper versus like what do you call
Yeah.
meals?
What do you call it?
Well, the I think my mother-in-law refers to the meal that's in the middle of the day always as dinner. I guess it would always be dinner. Always.
Middle of the day by meaning lunch.
Lunch.
Yes, the lunchtime. The meal you have in the middle of the day is dinner, and the meal you have at night is supper.
that's just
and
wrong.
don't ever call supper dinner.
What?
Those are two different words.
I'm confused.
Yeah, this is weird.
Well, so yeah, my
What area is this?
I think she says it's everybody. She says
No.
it's, yep.
Well, you said your mother-in-law does
You're right.
this. And where are they from?
The
Your hometown?
Western Wisconsin, yeah. Yep. But I always call the meal, no matter how big it is, in the middle of the day, is always lunch.
Yeah, same.
Agree.
Same.
Yep. And the meal at the end is either supper or dinner, whatever
Yep.
you want to call it. But I think you should look up and see if
Oh, I
never
did.
heard- I never heard anybody calling lunch.
dinner.
Me neither.
Yep, you come
Never
in for
in my
dinner.
life.
Yep.
Going back down to craft
So
dinner. Cheezehole.
Merriam-Webster.com here says dinner and supper are both used to refer to the main meal of the day, and especially to that meal as eaten in the evening.
But the main meal of the day, that's kind of contradictory.
And
So does
especially
your
to that
mother-in-law
meal as
serve
eaten
up a
in the
massive
evening.
lunch?
Yeah, I mean, it's she does well. It's usually not, sandwiches. It's usually,
Not hot dogs.
no, yeah.
It
So I
says
guess
supper is especially when the meal is an informal one eaten at home, while dinner tends to be the term chosen when a meal is more formal.
Oh. So us Wisconsinites, we do have
Yeah,
supper.
you got mama's home cooking, it's a supper.
It's a super supper.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I think my mom calls it supper, but my mom calls everything like she grew up in the 1800s for some reason.
That's awesome.
good for her.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
I like
but
that
it's,
about her.
the older I get, the more annoying it becomes to me.
Can you give me another example? I'm intrigued right now.
She doesn't call a couch a Davenport, but I think she would if I pushed
What
her
about a
on it.
shiffer robe?
A what?
Shiffer robe?
Robe.
I don't know what that is.
Like a
Like
like
a-
a hutch, like a
Yeah.
like a
well,
dresser or something.
She has like a hutch.
Davenport's a common one for people of that era, I think, because
My grandmother called it a Davenport.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
mom calls it a couch, though.
I mean, Davenport was, I think, a brand name.
It was a
from-
brand name.
From a,
Shift robe is like that. It's like a closet.
She doesn't have one of those, but that's what she'd call it.
Sweet.
I think shift robe seems more like a southern thing.
Yeah, I guess.
I'd never heard that term before, and I thought I was well educated. until
Read
just now.
To Kill a Mockingbird. You'll hear it a lot.
I
yeah.
read To Kill a Mockingbird.
It's
Maybe
in
I
there a
skipped
lot.
over that word because I didn't know what it was.
Maybe it's like kind of a big part of the story.
Forget that.
Yeah,
Whatever that is.
I can't do it.
Do you don't use any of those like antiquated terms, or your parents don't? Your dad has to.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
Your dad has to. From what we've learned about your father, he's
Yeah.
got it. He goes to threshing bees.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure. I'm sure there's something in there
If
that's
there's anyone here that can make a catapult to lunch at Big Pumpkin, it's him.
maybe so.
Let's get him on it.
Yeah.
What does he do in retirement?
Well, I would say it's more semi-retired. He still substitute teaches a lot. He drives a lot of bus,
Oh,
stuff like that.
I think I said this before. One of our good podcast listeners over in Melrose Mindoro School District, the retired principal, shout out to Dell, is now a bus driver, and he
nice.
said the kids like him a lot more as a bus driver than they did as I think he was actually the superintendent.
Cool.
Well,
He's like,
I can see
he's
that.
like, as a bus driver, I get like treats every day. The kids say hello to me.
Yep.
I have friends again.
Yeah. Yep. As a
Kids don't
superintendent,
all hate me.
as a superintendent, I just got the bird.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
Yep.
I came up with a bird joke this weekend that my wife hates. I
Okay.
told the kids, I said, hey, if you buy one, I'll give you one free. And she just found that to be not funny at all.
You have to blur that out in the video now. For
no.
those who are listening, Jeff just flipped off, gave the double bird to the camera.
Well, I gave one, because if you buy one, you
yeah.
get the second one free. I get it.
That was the joke. Yeah.
Yeah, like you guys didn't find it funny either. I thought it was funny. Kids these days.
Oh man.
And I wonder why my kids are all freaking mental.
I have never wondered.
Oh, really? Well, I'll tell you what my
Get it?
I get it. I'll tell you what one of my kids didn't do is they didn't think that the ice was in.
Oh,
Oh man.
This was a joke by the police department.
Yes, it was.
But the dude was drunk. He happened to be pulling his ice shack, and the whole thing is in a drink.
yeah.
So the Barron County Sheriff's Department posted this on Facebook. There's a picture of what appears to be a Chevy Silverado, black in color, pulling a very nice, well-built ice shanty.
Yeah,
and they are
dandy.
both
A
half
dandy.
submerged in some open water.
Yeah, this picture's amazing.
Yeah, it is. And they issued a warning saying that though it got below freezing the last couple nights, it's pretty much not okay to try to launch your ice shanty at this point.
Yeah, they just were making fun of the.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, because this
Situation.
guy was actually drunk on his third WI.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's
yeah.
nowhere near the record.
No. But,
He may have thought it was actually ice fishing season.
I mean, maybe.
that would make the story even better.
Yes, it
Can we
would.
get him on an interview? He's like, well, it was almost November.
Yeah.
It
Wanted
looked,
to get a good jump on the best
there
spot
was
out
a
there.
solid frost on my windshield. I gave her a go. Needed to catch some supper.
Wife's bird bath froze over, so I figured it's time.
Bird bath was frozen. Our bird baths are also a thing. Okay, talking about like old school. My grandparents had a bird bath in
Yep.
their yard.
I have a bird bath.
Do you?
I love watching birds.
I like watching birds too, but I don't feel like bird baths are a thing anymore. Did you
I-
go buy it or was it there?
No, it was I bought one. It's a heated one for the winter.
Oh,
You
wow.
plug it in and
Look at you.
Well, that's when they need the water the most.
Look at you.
I'm not opposed to a bird bath.
I'm not anti-bird
You'd be
bath.
shocked how many animals drink out of it in the winter.
I just feel like it's something that is like of a bygone era. A bird bath in your yard.
Yeah, because I think people don't give themselves the time
I
to
see
sit
what
and
you're
watch the
saying,
birds
though.
anymore.
Well, or take the time to fill a bird feeder. Another,
Yeah.
I'll date my mother again, like or your mother.
Every day I fill my...
Filling it. Well,
you're an old lady.
You inherited that. You are an old lady.
I'm fine with that.
Yes, Mrs.
But, and you know
Tim.
what? If I was an old lady, I'd fight off a teenager trying to steal my purse.
You just hold on. I'm not done talking about
was
what old
way
ladies
too
do yet. I'm not done talking about old ladies do yet. Filling bird feeders,
Okay.
bird baths. You know that to me is also
Those like little glass globe spheres that they put on the stand in their lawn.
to keep birds away.
What are those things? Is that
Is
really
that what
it
it's
is?
for? I don't
Yeah,
know.
I
that's
thought
what
they
those
were
are
just
for.
like
Decoration.
orbs, like decorate. Yeah.
Well, no, the like ones that are reflective are meant to like it frightens birds because they see themselves coming at it or other animals. The intent, I think, and I think deer are too smart now, is to keep like it would frighten a deer away.
Interesting.
Yep.
Interesting. I just thought they looked cool.
No,
Yeah.
because none of them look cool. They're all ugly.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Very much.
I ruined your segue.
It was a good segue.
It was a good segue.
Well, try again. Tim, you're just an old lady.
Well,
You
if I
are.
was an old lady and you tried to steal my purse, you can bet your bottom dollar I'd fight you off.
Well, the 65-year-old woman sure did in Stoughton.
Yep. I mean, it doesn't give too much details. Just said that a 16-year-old boy came up to her. She's 65 and was shopping at the Walmart, and he tried to take her purse and didn't get it.
So
He lost.
65 isn't that old.
No,
to
I
me.
agree.
Depending now, like this could be a stout Stoughton woman.
right.
You picture a frame,
A sturdy
frail
gal.
little 80-year-old woman's
Yeah.
story.
Yes.
Big ass 65-year-old woman. I mean, she could have been.
I know a lot of
400
65-year-old people that could easily handle that
pounds.
situation.
Whoop that 16-year-old boy up.
Well, he's in
Whoop him
juvie
up.
now, so.
He's in juvie.
Yes.
He didn't get that purse.
Nope.
You got a whooping though.
Yes, he did.
See, I pictured this being like a stout 65-year-old
Okay.
woman who just is like, not my purse, boy.
I'm picturing a lady that looks like Tim
Thank you.
buying feed for her bird feeder.
Yeah, she got
Yeah.
a little.
Fought him off with a 50-pound bag of sunflowers.
No, she can't lift the 50. She
No.
buys 2 of the 10-pound bags.
Yep.
It'd still hurt upside the head. That'd
It's
be
like
enough.
my mom goes into Menards and she gets the small bags because she can't lift
Spends
the big
a little
one.
bit extra
I
money
can't
to-
lift the big ones out of my trunk, Jeffy. I can't lift the big ones out of my trunk.
Golly gee, you just need to go to Menards since you're there every single day and buy her a few bags and stuff them in her garage for her.
I do buy, and other people buy her the big bags, and then she has to put them. Her garage is a mess because the squirrels all break into her garage and just there's seed everywhere.
You got to get her the metal trash cans.
She has
too.
metal
Okay.
trash cans, but it's just.
I
it's
got
a
to
long
set you guys
story.
up on the proper.
It's a
bird feeding
long
strategy
story.
here.
She knows how to do it. She just doesn't play by the rules.
Oh, Mom. She's a rebel with the birds.
She is. She just can't get her together. The Lincoln High School added a goat to pick up the seed in my mom's garage.
That's true.
It's going to be a long way from Wisconsin Rapids for that goat, but
Well, they have
What
a,
are they doing with a goat on her roster?
Well, so the Wisconsin Rapids must have enough of a agricultural education program that they have kind of a little farm on the campus.
part of their FFA program.
Yep, FFA that they can take care of.
FFA?
FFA?
I don't know what FFA is.
Yes, you do. We
It
do.
is
Yeah,
the-
I do.
yeah. Okay.
Future Farmers of America, but we don't have those up here.
Andy was.
I was, yeah.
We've talked about this.
We have. But so it's just more opportunities for kids to get experience taking care of animals and feeding animals and things like that. And they just got a new little goat, a mini goat named Betty White.
I like that. I like that a lot.
You know, and we can't go past the story about a llama or a goat.
No,
we
we can't.
just don't bypass them.
No, oh gosh, it's so cute.
I have a question for you, though, Andy. Do you think that, like your FFA advisor or other people that you're in that club with are disappointed in you that you've never taken up any form of farming?
Absolutely. And you know who my FFA advisor was?
His dad.
My dad.
Of course. I didn't even know that when I asked.
No, as soon as he got a smirk
I'm
on
sorry
his
to bring
face,
up
I
a
knew
sore
it was.
spot.
I knew it was.
Oh, man.
You are your father's biggest letdown.
That's the meanest thing you've ever said.
But he laughed.
Yeah.
There must be some element of truth to it.
Well, I mean, he was, that's what he taught was agriculture, and was really into agriculture and taking care of animals, and I was not. That was not my interest area. So I suppose there might be a little disappointment in that, but
I didn't know this was going to be a sore subject.
No,
and I
it's
feel
not a
bad
sore
for bringing
subject.
it
It's
up.
I know
not
I've
so
asked this before. You have a sister, right?
yep, she was
that's-
into horses and stuff,
that's
but
it.
but even then, yeah, just one sister. Yep, yep.
She's into farming more than you.
Well, now she lives in the Twin Cities, so no.
Oh.
But
Does she pretend to be just to stay on your dad's good side? Oh, I
don't
still
know.
love horses.
Part of me wishes I would
Does she
have
get a
grown up
horse
farmer.
calendar for Christmas and still act like she really likes it and she's going to hang it?
Yep, I think so.
Does she?
I don't
That's
know.
cool. I kind of wish I would have grown up a farmer or around farming more.
But I don't wish
it
that at
intrigues
all.
a heck of
But
I
I
mean,
tried to get more interested in the things like not necessarily animals because I wasn't.
Yeah.
But I mean, small animals are part of it, so that was more interesting than large animals to me.
Weren't
but
you going to get chickens?
yeah, I mean that interests me.
But you didn't.
I didn't know. I'm still waiting on Eric to give me his chicken coop.
I think
What
I'd
about
rather been into
gardening?
crop farming. Yeah,
well,
that's what I would have rather been
So there's
into.
also horticulture and things
Yeah.
where you work on plants and
Yeah.
and even like small engines is part of that. They pull that stuff together. So I was more interested in
Sure.
the machinery.
I get that.
I built a mini bike one year for an FFA project.
What?
What?
Yeah.
Do you still have it?
Can I have it?
It is in my cousin's garage. I
So-
think.
You need to get that.
Okay.
Tell us about it.
Yeah, he doesn't even. He acts like it's no big deal. You built a mini bike.
Well, it was my dad and his siblings had a frame of a mini bike that
This is
they
awesome.
drove
This is
around in
cool.
the 50s and 60s or whatever.
I like it even
and
more.
and then it went into a barn and sat there forever. And we pulled it out and put a new Briggs and
You
Stratton
need to
on it,
get
and,
that.
And that's in somebody else's barn now. And,
You don't want to store it.
I'll give you $26 for it.
no, it's probably worth a little more than that.
50.
No. Look, now he's getting on. Now all of a sudden it has
now
value.
it's- now it's
got
a
value.
treasure.
Before he's like, no, I don't want anything to do with it. But now all of a sudden,
Now he's waiting
you throw
for
a $26 offer out there, and
Yeah, I
he's
know.
like, no, it's worth
Now he thinks American Pictures is going to come by and swoop it
far
up.
more
yeah,
than the
okay.
pickers want it.
But we didn't have animals on our high school campus, but they got at Wisconsin Rapids a miniature horse and now a new little donkey. So I might have been more interested in taking care of a cute little horse and or not
I
a
don't wanna
donkey.
take care
of
donkey,
anything. I was gonna say.
not a donkey. The
I don't want
goat.
to take care of anything.
The goat.
I can barely take care of myself. The Wasau School District is considering merging high schools, which
surprised
that's
about this.
big news.
Yeah, it
That
today.
is big news. Yeah.
They're going to have fights. Isn't that like a big rivalry?
Well, is it?
I don't know.
No, it hasn't been.
Oh.
Is what are they talking about merging? Because you got East West, DC Everest.
that's not in the Wasau School District. DC Everest is its own school district.
Okay, so it's just East
and West. That's the same school district, but two different high schools.
Okay, understood. So I just thought maybe they were talking about.
A couple of years ago, they talked about merging a bunch of the elementary schools and consolidating, and now there's talk of merging both the high schools. There has been a very large disparity over the last decade between the two. A shift in demographics and a shift in population.
Where West is the larger one.
Yeah, by leaps and bounds.
Yeah.
And that's where, that's where the athletics are, and it has really become like that's the school, and then there's also East. You can also
With
go there.
open enrollment, do you think part of that is that East kids were going to West because of its more prominent nature?
Yeah, I think so.
Hard to say.
I would say the East was better known over the West for the arts stuff. So the fine arts, performing arts, that kind of stuff. The Hmong population at Wausau East is very large. So that's a shift in demographics where that
Interesting.
that segment of population is not as interested in things like basketball,
You're quite knowledgeable on this.
Absolutely. But I worked at Wausau East for a while, and I could tell
that's
you
why.
that's
Interesting.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
What'd you do there?
coach,
Track coach?
track coach, yep.
We're learning a lot about Andy. Mini bikes,
Yeah.
Wausau East.
The kid can build a mini bike, and he just I built a mini bike.
He has a mini
He's
bike and he
so
still
talented.
runs. And he
He's
could just,
so talented. Yeah.
That's just, yeah.
So talented, and he's ours.
Well, so this was a kind of a fun fact because the Wausau School District started out in 1880 and was one school district. It was just Wausau High School until 1971, and then they split up into East and West.
Interesting.
So
Big feud in 1971.
They've been apart since that long.
Oh, 71 is recent history, though.
Yeah, no, that's not too long ago.
I didn't realize that. Well, you know who isn't going to break in? They might break down and pay their ransomware attack, but was it Janesville? Got hit with a ransomware attack?
Are you knowledgeable on ransomware as well?
Oh, we could bring Eric over for this.
I was going to say, I feel like this is an Eric
Can we bring in
topic.
an expert?
Yeah.
I have
Eric.
some knowledge on ransomware, but not as much as Eric.
He's shaking his head like a wiener.
Okay, well, he just told us no.
Okay.
Which is fine. That means he doesn't know.
No, I don't want to.
Well, so
Grow up, Eric. Get over here.
He's reliving the Bitcoin conversation when we attacked him, and he's worried.
they basically take over your computers
Yeah, they hijack it and
until you
hold it for ransom.
until you agree to pay a fine, and then they supposedly release it.
Did they say
sounds like a
they
pretty
they
nice-
gave in and paid it, or did they find a way around it?
I don't think that they did. Typically what happens, so this has happened to a few businesses that I know of, and you just better hope you have a modern backup, and then you're just like, here, fine, have it. You clear it and start over,
Right.
and then you just make up the difference on
Makes sense.
what you. I know there was a municipality out east where our current town clerk lives that got in a huge amount of trouble with a ransomware attack because they had no backup.
Really?
Yeah, and like literally were handcuffed for weeks because they couldn't figure out what to do. So it's a big deal,
Wow.
you know.
How do they track down and like find these people that do it?
You can't. It's typically like a Russian hacker. It's from another country.
Weird.
Yeah, it's
is very intriguing
it's
to me.
near impossible to.
I
Sounds
wonder
like
why,
a prolific profession.
I wonder why
is.
they
Yeah.
would have targeted the Janesville High School District.
Well, you don't target anyone. What you do is you look for flaws in their security. So what you're doing is you're running like a script.
And it pulls up them that you can.
That's
Yeah.
pinging every single business and.
so they were using
and
something that was
municipality.
attackable.
Yeah, they were basically scrolling through every single IP address or however they're entering until they find a vulnerability or like an outdated software. I wish Eric would come over because if I'm wrong, he could at least correct me.
Yeah,
He would love that.
I guarantee
aspect of
he's
it.
over there
Yeah, right now he's
yeah.
talking about like.
Oh, they
how
don't know what the
wrong
heck
I
they're
am.
talking about
Yeah.
over there.
Vulnerability. Oh. So anyway,
He's too busy hacking into Janesville's account.
Yeah.
yeah, he's trying
Eric,
to get the scraps.
Did Janesville pay you, Eric? Not yet.
Not yet.
He's busy trying to cover his tracks on the Janesville attack.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's how they do it.
Yeah.
But
Well, I learned something.
the last story, which I thought this was super interesting to me, I don't know why I thought
like
it was.
this.
The state of Wisconsin is offering you a great deal on a bridge, but not only one bridge, 3 bridges.
Well,
This is awesome.
how good of a deal could it possibly be?
It's free.
Free.
3 free bridges, and 2 of them are massive. One of them's 80 feet, and then the other 2 are in the hundreds of feet, aren't they?
80 feet's pretty massive too, really.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's big.
80 feet, 550 feet, and 640 feet.
How would you'd have to cut these into pieces. So the deal is
And
that-
these are nice looking bridges too.
yeah, they're super cool.
Yeah.
They're old school, like built in the 30s, like metal, like arced bridges.
I actually want one.
I know, I wanted one too.
I want to go get one.
That's what I wanted one too.
Okay,
I'm like, I gotta figure out what to do with
Gotta
that.
get the 80 footer.
Could we find is there a lake around here that's small enough to fit that across to get from one side to the other?
The 640 footer, you bet your
well,
bottom.
any of those,
Yeah.
like there's a bunch of channels and stuff.
I bet we could put
yeah.
them all together too. Could we put all 3 bridges together?
we can
You're
weld.
so dumb. Well, so like I like the idea that they're free. It's like free, you must remove. So it's like all
Yeah.
that stuff you see on people's curb, like an old TV or a
Yeah.
couch with a free sign on.
Yeah.
These are bridges.
Yeah.
I wonder, like, the cost of dismantling and moving that bridge.
Gosh,
man.
transporting that thing.
I would think that there's going to be nobody who steps up for these free bridges, even though they're free. Wouldn't you think? Where are
I
these
don't
at?
know.
These are down in hour west of Madison.
I mean, I could see the 80 footer going. I could see someone saying, I have a use for that. I need to span something in my
But
property.
even 80 feet. So a semi-trailer's 53 feet long.
I know.
Yeah, that's
I know
big.
that's big, but it's still someone could manageably take that apart. If they you own equipment and a truck, you could take that apart and do something with it.
But it's a bridge, so you gotta get like on a barge. You know what I'm saying?
it's a
like, yeah, I mean, it's like I get. It's like we take my silo down, and you can have it for to feed your donkeys. It's a little different. This is on the water.
donkeys.
Well, I wonder if it would catch the eye of maybe another city or municipality that, hey, we're looking for like
that could be.
something a larger scale operation than
So I'm curious why.
Then-
So typically for DOT, so you have to have your DOT bridges inspected on like a certain like annual basis or every 5 years, depending on the condition of them. My guess is, does it say were they replacing these because they had to, which then means you can't take them as another municipality because your bridge has to be rated for certain loads, for certain, so my guess is you probably could only use these like to cross your moat. I'm going to install a moat at our house.
It just
70
says the
feet
cost
wide.
of rehabilitation was approaching the cost of replacement.
Exactly.
So,
So
just
so
to get
that
another
means
20 years.
They were probably basically condemned by whatever authority
Yeah.
told them to tear it down, the DOT or whoever. So that's the situation you run into with most bridges. The infrastructure, just the cost to replace it.
I still want the 80 footer. I want to put it across the creek somewhere, and I want to live under it like a troll.
Deal.
That's my plan.
Good luck with that.
Thank you.
If you need any help taking it apart, let us know.
What
You can build mini bikes. You can take apart a
I
bridge.
saw on your chair there was your local newspaper again. Are you going to read us jokes?
I'm going to read you one.
Yes.
Oh
And
boy.
If you thought the last one was a little...
Inappropriate?
Oh, Lord.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's why I brought it back. I would...
Oh goodness.
I can't wait, actually.
So-
Oh my
You know,
goodness.
But you're... going back to the replay of that episode, your comments were actually quite funny. I was annoyed at the time because you wouldn't let me finish the damn joke.
I don't remember what I even said.
yeah, thank you for acknowledging.
So in hindsight, I'm funny.
In hindsight, you're funny. Let me find it here.
Are you
Don't
nervous, or-
highlight her. Don't highlight it or anything. Andrew.
No.
Don't have it open to the page already.
Yeah.
So this is the...
October.
This is the October issue.
It's only monthly.
Oh, yeah.
How can you do a monthly newspaper?
Well, that's what they do.
Yeah.
No, I know, but I mean, you really think
It
about
takes that much time to
think about-
build up news and clear.
No, but think about that. So, like, if that newspaper came out yesterday and something big happens today,
Oh, yeah, it's not...
29 days later, locals who don't have access to any other news source will find out about it.
Yeah, I guess if you're living under your bridge
it's like
that you
it's
made.
like the freaking Pony Express of newspapers.
Yep.
29 days later, you're
They
going
might-
to hit the newspaper.
Okay.
Well, they got a new bank. That's on the front
Well,
page.
hey, we could use
That was
one of
last
those.
month. Oh,
What's the new, who moved there?
Well, it's the first bank of Baldwin. moved
what's
in.
that gun show? That looks good.
Well, they got the Clear Lake Fire Department has a gun, military, and knife show.
That's the other
Sweet,
thing.
I
You
like
better
that.
be thinking
Yeah.
ahead. Like, if you've got an event,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
you got to be like, we got to get that in the October edition.
If it's November 1st, I tell you.
Yeah.
Okay, so in
Sorry.
the October, what is it? The Clear Lake Chronicle?
Clear Lake Chronicle.
The Clear Lake Chronicle.
Yep. Okay, so this is this month's filthy joke.
Oh man, I'm ready.
Okay. John O'Reilly hoisted his beer and said, "Here's to spending the rest of me life between the legs of me wife."
Already? Is there more?
Coming in hot, yeah.
Coming in hot. Yes, John O'Reilly is.
Yep. Okay, that won him top prize at the pub for the best toast of the night. He went home and told his wife, Mary, "I won the prize for the best toast of the night." She said, "Aye, did ye know? What was your toast?" Well, John said, "Here's to spending the rest of me life sitting in church beside me wife." "Oh, that's very nice indeed, John," said Mary. Well, the next day, Mary ran into one of John's drinking buddies on the street corner. The man chuckled leeringly and said, "John won the prize the other night at the pub for this toast about you, Mary." And she said, "Aye, he told me. But I was a bit surprised myself. You know, he's only been there twice in the last 4 years. I had to pull him by the ears to make him come last time, and the other time he fell asleep." What do you even say to that? Why is this in the paper?
That is awesome.
This does blow my mind a
I
little
can't
bit.
believe they can do that.
I don't know. I don't
Okay,
know how
there's two things. So
Two things. That's all
no,
you
no,
got.
no,
out of it?
no. Not regard. There's a lot of things regarding the joke, but so the demographic of the people reading that paper gotta be over age 50.
This is great.
More or less.
Wouldn't you think?
Yeah.
Over age 45 minimally. I'm 48 and I haven't picked up our local newspaper other than look at the pictures in a decade.
I would if they had jokes like that.
Yep.
So does nobody? I know I asked you this last time, but nobody ever questions the jokes.
There's like a never
Is
letter
there a
to the
letters
editor.
to the editor
Yeah.
thing in there that says? Because okay, like
Maybe.
in our local newspaper, like if you say anything off color at all,
Yes.
there's a letter to the editor.
We should try to print.
There's a
submit
letter
one
to
of them.
the editor going
See what
in.
happens.
Submit a joke or a
Yeah,
letter to the editor?
that exact joke. We should try to submit that And
To a
see
different
what-
paper?
To ours and see what happens.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, they got a phone number and an email here if you want to reach out.
Well, I don't, because I want this to keep going. I mean, I think
I'll reach out
I'm
with
on
encouragement.
I'm on Tim's side. Like, we should start submitting jokes and
Yeah.
just see how, like, where do they draw the line?
Yeah.
Submit jokes to this paper?
Yeah.
I don't know how she finds these. I mean,
Well, that,
I'd be afraid
I've
to
heard
Google
that. I've
things
heard
like
that
that.
joke. I've heard a variation of that joke
Okay.
before, but I didn't read it in my local newspaper. No.
yeah, right next to the town getting a new bank.
Go Clear Lake. I
That is
love
kinda
Clear
cool.
Lake. I like that they're not afraid to say things. There is no cancel culture in Clear Lake.
No, there definitely is not.
Not yet.
Well, there's a. I almost didn't want to do this because I think you have too many and you're going to lose our readers here. So you have to be brief.
Okay.
Okay. There's a lot of Halloween events that Andy wants to talk
Yeah,
about.
well, I'm not going to talk about all my. I mentioned here that I'm just going to list them all for Halloween, not necessarily go into detail about them. So, because there's a lot going on for Halloween.
Yeah.
Yep.
We mentioned Janesville.
We did.
When you got your cyber attack figured out, you can go visit the Forest of Freaks in Janesville.
Jeff will be there.
Okay. You can also do in Janesville the Chill at Oak Hill, which is a cemetery tour.
Okay.
Yeah, see, that sounds fun. In Merrill, there's a haunted sawmill.
I've been to that.
Oh, you have?
Is it cool?
I have.
Is it like a haunted house except in a sawmill?
Yeah, and I'll tell you two things. Number one, I'm one of those people who scare, like if I turn around and you're standing behind me, I jump.
Yeah.
Okay? I don't like horror films.
Me neither.
Nope. So, like, I did not enjoy this. It's to me, a haunted house is not fun. I don't want to go. But this was a good haunted house, if that makes sense.
I'm totally with you. I will never go to one. I don't like them. I don't want to. It's like, why do I want to?
People think it's fun to scare me because I scare so easily. So, like, this type of crap is not my deal.
Well, this one, it's rated as the scariest haunted house in northern Wisconsin.
It's well done. If you're into that type of thing, it's well done.
There's Jack-o'-lantern Days in Fish Creek. Just Halloween-themed
Yeah,
stuff
I'm going to
going
go
on.
smash them all.
There's the Wisconsin Fear Fest in Beaver Dam.
I'd rather go to the beer fest, but all right.
Yeah.
Wisconsin Fear and Beer Fest.
That'd be cool.
Oh,
Yes.
Fear and Beer. That'd be good. The Superior Spooktacular in Superior.
Nice.
The Haunted Mine Tour in Platteville. That kind of sounds cool.
Yeah, that does sound kind
That
of
would
cool.
take the scare level up a notch.
That would actually sound scary.
From a
Yeah,
haunted
I
house to
agree.
a haunted
I
mine, where
agree.
like
All they would have
you
to do
can't
is
get
fake
out.
a real emergency, like we're trapped in there, and I'd lose my mind. You know what I mean? You could
That
totally
would not
like
be funny.
No, it
funny,
wouldn't.
not funny. Funny, not funny.
Yeah.
Yep. So you go.
Woo!
Red sirens going off, rocks crumbling.
Canaries dying.
Just a cage full of dead canaries.
Yeah,
That's all it takes.
Oh my God, I'm short of breath. A cage full of dead canaries is just a whole haunted house.
That's it. You walk in, it's just dead.
You get to the bottom and there's 100 dead canaries laying in a heap.
And the door shuts behind you. That's it. That's all you need.
Yeah, nothing scarier. Nothing scarier.
So that's down in Platteville. There's the annual zombie crawl in Land O'Lakes.
Oh, that's close to home. Mm-hmm. The zombie crawl.
Yep.
Halloween is such a weird. I don't know. I guess it's a holiday.
It's a holiday.
You know, to me, I like either people are super into it,
Yes.
like super into it, or you're not into it at all.
I was going to say the same thing. It seems like people either love or like just
Yeah.
do not care at all
You're,
about
you're not
Halloween.
mildly into Halloween.
No.
I am not into Halloween at all.
Me neither.
No.
It's always fallen during the rut, and I've been bow hunting. I'm serious.
Falls during
Like
the-
since I could bow hunt at like 12, and I did not care about Halloween. That's
Yeah, I mean, I remember as a kid, my mom here you go. My mother handmade us costumes.
Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome.
I got to dig up some pictures because she handmade
'em
us
in.
costumes.
I'll wear one next week.
It would probably fit you.
And that's why I offered.
So we always had like up until age 10 a handmade costume by my mother. You know, but then I never remember being into Halloween. My mom is into Halloween. Oh, okay, I'm gonna date her again. You know what she gives away, and I guarantee you, no kid wants to go to her house because
Raisins. If you say raisins, I'm gonna lose it.
it's almost worse than a box of raisins.
Okay.
Homemade popcorn balls.
Oh. There was one house we used to visit that had.
They're f***ing delicious. They're so
are,
good.
but
in this day and
does
age,
that?
but in this day and age, it's like you can't accept anything that would be. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
Because it's in a, you know, they're like,
Yeah, people freak out about getting razor blades and
they're
Right.
homemade.
Prepackaged food.
She puts them all in a little baggie. You know, they go right in the garbage. Oh my gosh. And it's a ton of work. Like, it's a ton of work.
I need to get your mom's address, and I'm gonna bring my kids by.
Oh my God, she loves. If you stop, she would be. Number one, you can't just stop and grab the popcorn ball and go. She's going to want to show you her garden. She's going to show you how she made the popcorn balls.
Yep, yep.
She will then also offer you a boxed treat of some sort, like maybe Milk Duds.
Oh,
something
talking.
something again, maybe of a little bit older era.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're going to get candy, but you're going to get the popcorn balls too.
Okay.
The popcorn balls are for special people. You know, like kids she recognizes, kids who have really good costumes.
Okay.
Sure,
Kids whose
sure.
kids who say please and thank you.
Right.
Okay. But those popcorn balls, ton of work, right in the garbage.
For sure. But you know, my mom is very similar with trick or treaters. So we grew like northern Wisconsin. You don't get trick or treaters. We live way out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. You don't. My mom lives in town for the record.
So since I was a little kid, I always remember like going out to my bow stand or being in elementary and sitting at home, and my mom would have the biggest bowl of candy that I've ever seen in my life sitting by our front door. every year for like 15 years, and we never
Well, your
once
mother
got a
guys lived in-
trick-or-treater.
Well, you lived in Rapids, though.
Yeah, we got trick-or-treaters then, and she
Okay, so when you moved to Sugar
loves
Camp,
getting
though.
trick-or-treaters, yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I bet it's been 20 years of her sitting and waiting
Your
for a
mother
knock on the
lives
door.
3 miles down a side road.
I'm aware of this, and she's always, like, clinging on to hope that someone will show up.
Okay, this year I'm taking my kids to Jeff's mom's house.
Yes.
And to Dobbins.
Tim's mom's
So,
house, yeah.
This year, my nieces, so my wife's side, her sister, her 2 little girls say that they're going to come to Sugar
Okay.
Camp, and they're going to go to my mom's, and she is so pumped this year. I bet you they're going to get, like, Christmas
gonna
presents.
pour that
yes.
bowl.
Yeah.
She's
They're
got
gonna have
15
ra-
years worth
Yep.
of the candy built up.
I don't know why they just like trick-or-treaters that much.
My mom, after Halloween, will be like, I didn't get many trick-or-treaters this year, and I had my light on until late. I only got 6 kids.
Do the kids hate me?
No. I'm just like, I don't know, Mom. I'm sorry. And then there's a big old bowl full of popcorn balls, and she's trying to pawn them off on me.
Feeding them to the deer.
No,
later.
she's, I don't know.
There's also with the Wisconsin Fairgrounds in Waukesha, and well, that actually sounds pretty good. Rated number 1 in Wisconsin. Highly decorated, elaborate haunted house, a labyrinth of torment. The highest level of terror interactions. It sounds like somewhere you want to go.
Yes. I love high terror interactions.
Sounds great, like a great place for a heart
Is that
arrhythmia.
65-year-old ladies inflicting the terror? Because they're...
And the last one, because it has the coolest name, down in Coon Valley, it's the annual Ghoulies in the Coolies.
Norsk Dalens Ghoulies in the Coolies. Is Norsk Dalen the town?
No, that's at, I think, maybe like a greenhouse or it's a business.
Oh, because I had never heard of that before, and I couldn't figure out what it was.
It's a nature and heritage center.
Norsk Dalens. Where's that at?
That's in Coon Valley, down in the Coulee region.
I never heard of Coon Valley. It's Wisconsin?
Well, that's got to be down by La Crosse, right?
Yeah,
I
I'm
would
sure.
assume.
See, that's such an area of the state I'm just not familiar with. I just never get there
Yeah.
because there's no good way to get there.
Coon Valley. We're going to look them up. They're in Vernon County,
Yeah, there you go.
about 700 people. They have a quick trip.
They do?
That's what it says. I'm trying to zoom out on this map.
We don't have one. That's what's bull. Is
Yes,
we don't
we
have
have
a
one
quick
in
trip.
Rhinelander.
Closest quick trip's 10
There's
miles
2
away.
in Rhinelander.
It's
too.
pretty
Two in
close
Rhinelander, one in
to.
Eagle River.
Yeah.
It's like halfway between Westby and La Crosse.
Huh. I love that area, and I just don't get there.
Beautiful
Rural
area.
part. Yeah, it is.
Beautiful.
Well,
Yep.
gentlemen,
We went big for 51.
I'm gonna say something on air that Andy and I had a discussion a few weeks ago about I was gonna kill the podcast. I can't kill it. It's my favorite hour of the week.
Yeah. Look at that.
It's mine
Good
too.
afternoon.
Good evening. Oh,
Oh,
Good night.
good night.
good night.